have a responsibility to work out our relationship with our Father. We still have a responsibility to be effective disciples. We still have a responsibility to get into his word and to know it for ourselves and to hide as much of it as we can in our hearts so that we are not deceived. So that when we are disappointed, we're not so quick to go into a rebellious state. We're not so quick to turn and walk away from the Father. He never leaves. Life will happen. We will get a chip on our shoulder. We'll pray less. We'll worship less. We'll allow conviction to turn into condemnation. And the first thing some of us will do, and I said some, not all, is we'll pull away from the body of believers who truly are our support system. People of God, do you have a healthy relationship with the Father? Or are you confined by the deception of rebellion? Listen, in order to have a healthy relationship with the Father, we have to put the belt of truth. We have to buckle the belt of truth around our waist. We can't be like these religious people who take certain things and that's law. We have to build a relationship. And in order to have a healthy relationship, truth has to be the foundation. We can't justify our sin. We can't justify when we miss it. We as disciples, effective disciples, should be quick to be honest and to own it. And then to seek the Father, to consult with the spiritual authority and get back into that healthy place so that God's love can truly flow through us and so that his light is what we are truly resting in. I've never seen so many people, so many believers that will throw shade. They will have cliques and they'll do all these things. They'll support you as long as, anyways, it's just, that's not Jesus. Yes, Jesus had his disciples, but he did what he was called to do. And so we see now a body of believers, of disciples that God is raising up, and it's beautiful. But unfortunately, the majority is still flowing in religion. They're in a religious contract and not a personal relationship. And God is not pleased. We don't get to determine who God uses. That includes when we are dealing with ourselves. Who are we to tell God that he can't use us? Who are we to tell God that he didn't choose us? Yes, you made the mistake. Yes, you said it, you did it. But God is a God of love. God is a God of redemption. And he is waiting to have a relationship with you. So he is saying, my child, will you come home? Not as a servant in the field, but as an effective disciple that is ready to share my love with a world filled with hate, that is ready to truly rest in my light as you fight against darkness. He is saying, come home, daughter. Come home, son. Not just physically where everybody can see it, but I want your soul. I want you mentally, emotionally. I want all of you so that I can transform you as a whole, so that you are a disciple that I can trust in this season. I encourage you to read Ephesians 6. It is so powerful on how we are to be equipped as we build our relationship with the Father. It tells us how to put on the full armor and how to wear it daily. Truth, peace, helmet of salvation, sword of the Spirit, right standing, meaning being vertical in his truth. Faith that shields you from all darkness. We need the full armor of God in order to have an effective relationship with him. Remember, faith that prevails. This is a fruit of the Spirit. Once you read Ephesians 6, then go to Galatians 5. Faith that prevails. Hebrews 11:6 says, do you know that without faith it is impossible to please God? How can you have a relationship if you don't have faith? Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. And I trust God to give me strength to have courage for that seed to grow daily, the mustard seed of faith. To grow daily into faith that prevails. Tell yourself, this testing of my faith will produce steadfastness in me. And just maybe someone will need my testimony. And that's Matthew 17:20 and James 1:3. Also, check out Mark 11:24, Romans 10:17, and James 1:6. And as you are fighting to have that relationship with the Father, remember gentleness of heart. That is another fruit of the Spirit. A fruit of the Spirit that is categorized by a humble and meek attitude of helping others instead of being superior to them. You see, when you flow in rebellion, sometimes you take on a persona of you're entitled, that you're superior. And yes, people can sit in the pulpit. People can have large congregations and still be consumed by the spirit of rebellion. But when you flow in relationship, there is a meekness that consumes you. And remember, I've said this before, meekness is not weakness. We're not doormats when we choose to be disciples. But we're not so quick to pop off. We don't want to be combative. We don't want division. We want unity. We want to do what the word says, in all thy ways get an understanding. We want community. Most of all, we want God's love to flow. James 3:13.